Jilly, one of Britain's biggest modelling stars of the 1970s and 80s, has revealed she was on a flight when she spotted the reformed wildman of rock crafting his own knitwear. Since then she has fallen in love with knitting and shows off her creations on her Instagram account. But she describes it as her guilty pleasure, because it may not be too good for her glamorous image. Jilly, 69, revealed, "I always had a bit of a hankering to do it, but it has that granny image, which can be off-putting. But I can recall sitting next to Ronnie Wood on a flight and seeing him knitting, and I thought, if it's rock and roll enough for a Rolling Stone, then it's rock and roll enough for me." I used to be a real globetrotter, living in the fast lane, meeting wonderful people. So this is a bit different from that. It isn't quite as glamorous. My husband doesn't think it is the most exciting project I've ever done. He is a bit underwhelmed, but I love it. It isn't really good for the image, is it? But it is my guilty pleasure. Born in Queensland, Australia, Jilly's family moved to Surrey when she was 8 years old. She was discovered as a model at 16 before becoming one of the first Page 3 girls. Her modeling career saw her shooting campaigns in the grand cities of Europe, and traveling to the Caribbean to be photographed in high-end swimwear. Life was so hectic she famously once had to phone hotel reception to find out what country she was in. But the self-proclaimed glamorous Gran believes her new hobby has helped her gain a sense of peace in an otherwise busy world. Explaining that she took it up during the chaos of lockdown, she says, "I find it is a very good way to wind down and shut off. It is a real serenity thing. It is very good for a little bit of zen. I'm not very disciplined sitting down and meditating, so this is my way." In 1978, Jilly formed a girl group with fellow glamour model Nina Carter called Blonde on Blonde. Having always had a passion for drama, she then went on to do a lot of theatre and television. Jilly's career then moved on to the page, penning Double Exposure in 1994 about the dark side of the modeling world, and Playing for Love in 1997. She has certainly kept busy. Jilly adds, "I suppose I've never had time for hobbies in the past, but I'm knocking on in the years a bit and I do feel the need for something else. During lockdown I had cooked myself into a frenzy. I was experimenting in my greenhouse and I was goggle-eyed from watching the box non-stop. I was just about sick of it all and looking for something else to fill my time with. I had learned the basics of knitting with my mum when I was 9 or 10 and I knew how to cast on with my thumb. Then I was looking around at knitting fashion and I love that kind of uneven, irregular, imperfect style, and I thought I can do that. So I knitted 2 large squares and 2 oblongs and joined them up into a jumper. They were quite irregular, that would be an understatement." Now entering her 70th year, Jilly still looks fabulous in everything she wears, so a few dropped stitches and an uneven hem or two can go unnoticed. So what are her secrets to keeping herself looking so youthful? I guess first of all, don't give up. Every day I look in the mirror and find more daily dilapidations, but you just have to keep on going. All I can say is what everybody says, SPF, SPF, SPF. Using sunscreen whether it is summer or winter, rain or shine, is so important. Absolutely vital. Plus, always remember to moisturize and drink lots of water. I don't go for big expensive brands, There's no need, it is all pretty much high street stuff, which is inexpensive. Jilly's greatest passion now is her family. She has one daughter, Lucy, from her first marriage to businessman Brian Johnson, and 3 grandchildren, Grace, Ted, and Gabriel. In 2002 she married Ashley Brolin, CEO of Ashley Wild Group, which has specialized in interiors for 6 decades, bringing her grandchild total to 14. Life in leafy Hertfordshire with her 2 Great Danes could be described as boring, she says. But Jilly gave up much of her globetrotting to become a full-time grandmother and help her daughter when they were little. But despite this closeness, they do find some of her knitting creations a little questionable. "I knitted some gifts for my daughter and granddaughter and they said oh lovely, but I wasn't convinced," she laughs. "I thought my granddaughter would love it because they have that disheveled hippie chic look, and were off the shoulder in a stylish way. They haven't been very enthusiastic, but I'm working on it, it is an ongoing project. I'll soon learn not to drop stitches and avoid the knobbly bits. I am thoroughly enjoying it." And recalling her modeling heyday once more, she says, "Back then no 2 days were ever the same, it really was life in the fast lane. So it is extraordinary to see me knitting, but there you go,